Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a good one, and let's get into spoiler discussion for Star Wars Battlefront 2 Inferno Squad. Such a good book! Okay. Let's try and calmly analyze why I loved this book so much. Like I just said, spoilers! Lots and lots of spoilers! Just as a heads up. So, if you have not read or listened to this book, which you should go do that before you watch this video. Just trust me. It's worth whatever money you have to pay to get it. Oh, it's so good. Now, with all those warnings being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so first off, let's talk about the tone. Holy crap. I thought that, Rogue One was kind of dark for Star Wars. Or even Battlefront Twilight Company was sort of dark for Star Wars. Christy Golden went, full-blown hard R rated. If this was a film, it would be hard R rated. We've got bombings of high school field trips. We've got murdering our compatriots in order to maintain your cover. We've got the main protagonist's mother dying, thinking that the main protagonist is a traitor to the Empire. Whoa. Don't tone it down, Christy Golden, but holy crap. She just hits you over the head with these really, really deep and complex moral dilemmas that the members of Inferno Squad and the partisans, or what they're called in this book, the Dreamers, are having to do. It's just mind-boggling. I suppose I should kind of just recap how this story goes. Essentially, Inferno Squad is they're assembled and then sent to do a couple of token missions against random moths and whatever. And then the rest of the book is nothing but them being undercover with this cell of leftover partisans from Saw Gerrera's band that have now rebranded themselves as the Dreamers. And that's the book. Then they get out after successfully doing what they need to do with the Dreamers, and that's it. Now, I do like to bring up some complaints even about books that I love, which this is kind of a non-complaint, but I really wish it was longer, man. That whole first chapter about Iden surviving the Death Star, and then the next chapter is us jumping straight from her crashing on the Yavin 4, and then jumping to her recovering in hospital. I really, really wanted to see how Iden survived crash landing onto a rebel-occupied planet, stealing one of their ships, and then fleeing from the Outer Rim, which is where Yavin 4 is located, all the way back to Imperial space in a stolen rebel ship. I would have loved to have seen that. The reason I say that is that I just want more of the character, which I guess is kind of a non-complaint. I want more of the main character, and I want more of the book. But that's all I've got for this novel, because the reason why I want more of Iden is because I just find her such a fascinating character. We have had some Imperials who have their reasons for staying with the Empire. We've got people like Ciena Rey from Lost Stars. We've got Nash Windrider, also from Lost Stars. We've got Rey Sloane. There we go, now I forgot her name. From the Aftermath trilogy in A New Dawn. But we've never seen a character this complex as we get with Iden. Iden is just head and shoulders above the others when it comes to the complexity and the intricacies of their character. Don't get me wrong, I still love Lost Stars and the characters in that, and I still love Rey Sloane, but Rey Sloane is very much a I'm an Imperial because my home planet was a scum of or a hive of scum and villainy. Nash Windrider just kind of his mind broke essentially, which is why he's an Imperial and sticks with the Empire despite his home planet's destruction when Alderaan blew up. And then you've got Ciena Rey, who stays an Imperial mostly because of the cultural impact that vows and promises have in her specific culture. She made a vow to the Empire, and she needs to fulfill that vow. Those are all single answers. And with Iden Versio, we get a lot of little reasons. She displays an obsession with needing to gain attention and a need of recognition from her father. And it even says in this book that many people on their home planet of Vardos see her father, Garrick Versio, as the Empire. She wants to please what her father is, and her father is the Empire, so there's that. Then you also have the immense amount of drive that she has. She wants to be successful. She wants to be known. She wants to be an honored soldier of the Empire. Plus, her mother, who tragically dies before realizing that Iden is actually not a traitor to the Empire, that was just all part of the undercover plan, is a very different kind of person than her father, but also a staunch Imperial supporter. And that makes sure that Iden can't villainize those types of people, like, say, her father, and then turn that villainization towards the Empire. Because she's seeing... she may hate her father in some ways, but she has that counterbalance that also says that the Empire is good in her life, and thus making sure that that hostility towards her father doesn't bleed into hostility against the Empire, if that makes sense. But anyways, Iden Versio is just... man, she's good. And Janina Gavankar did a phenomenal job of reading aloud this book in audiobook form. Holy crap, she needs to do more audiobooks. I know some of that probably comes from some editing and some direction that she got. She is also a performer. She is an actress. Like, she's been in other stuff than this before. She was in some different television shows and stuff. I don't want to get any of the titles wrong, but you can go check her out on IMDb. She's got like 60-something credits as named characters in TV shows. So, like I said, it's not like this is her first performance, but she just did such a good job with this audiobook. Holy crap. I know I complained a little bit about the male voices that she did. Just some of them were like kind of like ultra doofusy, especially some of the dreamers, who we'll get to in a second. But some of the dreamers were voiced in this weird, like they just sounded like dumb yokels, kind of, which might have been direction that she got. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, on to the dreamers. The dreamers were the exact right thing to pit Inferno Squad against when we first see them. This is the first time that we're seeing them as an audience. And that's exactly who you should have them fighting. Have them fight other extremists. Because the Imperials are extremist. But when you put extremism versus other extremism, one of them is a tiny bit better than the other, which is why I identified with those Imperials. Not to mention I try not to get too much into politics on this channel, but there is something very alluring about being the member of a society that is the pinnacle of civilization. And the biggest, baddest group of people on the block, and being part of a machine that keeps itself protected and safe. I mean, not everybody in 1940s Germany was an evil Nazi. They bought into it because that's what they wanted. That the right kind of person came along and poof, Empire or Reich. That there is something very alluring about that. And a couple people were like, wait, I never identified with the Imperials in this. I didn't identify with the Empire in this book. I identified with the people of the Empire. I identified with people that have those previously mentioned needs and desires for peace and security and control over your own life and control over your own environment. I can empathize with that sentimentality. I may not agree with it, but that's one of the nice things about fiction is that even if you don't agree with something morally, you can still empathize with them without feeling bad, I guess. It allows you to let that violence ape out and just kind of be like, you know what? Yeah, I can see where they're coming from. I may disagree with them. If I was dropped into the Star Wars universe, I would never be an Imperial, but I can see where Imperial citizens like Iden Versio and the rest of Inferno Squad are coming from. I get it. As for the other members of Inferno Squad, I liked them. I didn't really, like, I guess maybe I was just so laser focused on Iden that I didn't really connect with the other two the other two surviving members of Inferno Squad. I was a little bit interested in the third, if I can remember her name. I'm sorry, I listened to the audiobook, so I don't remember characters' names all that much. I just remember their voices. Sen. There we go, Sen. The one that Iden is forced to kill in order to maintain her cover. Whew! Holy crap, that was a dark scene. But all in the name and glory of the Empire and all that. But anyways, I liked Sen a lot. She had a really interesting storyline, and that was another thing that Christie Golden did such a good job of, is that for more than half of this book, Inferno Squad is living and sleeping and eating with these dreamers, the enemies of the Empire. And every time that they get a little bit too chummy, there is a poof pop-up reminder about how terrible the dreamers are. And then every time that maybe the Empire is getting a little bit too nice, Christie Golden just kind of comes in and goes, yeah, but remember, they do terrible things. Remember, the Empire does do terrible things, guys. And she does it in such a subtle way that you barely even notice it. Like, as soon after about, I think about 45 minutes of the audiobook, where Inferno Squad is starting to kind of get to know the people that they're working with in the Dreamers, right when they start getting kind of chummy, the Dreamers bring in a captured Imperial Stormtrooper who basically dies immediately upon arriving, after being brutally tortured, apparently, on the trip to the Dreamer home base. And then you've got, every once in a while, one of the Dreamers will be like, yeah, the reason why I'm fighting the Empire is because my entire family was murdered after I was promised that they would be safe as long as I went to work with them. Also, when I went to go work with them, I ended up contracting a nasty disease and I'm dying from it because I was forced into slave labor after my family was promised to be safe and they were murdered like less than an hour after I left. Yeah, just saying. Like Christie Golden reminds us about how terrible both sides are all the time, and it's exactly who you needed. The Dreamers were exactly who we needed to be the bad guys in this book. because you can't have them fighting the Rebel Alliance. The Rebel Alliance is kind of the moderates, I guess. They want change. They want to overthrow the Empire, but they want to do it civilly-ish, like what we saw in Twilight Company, the first Battlefront book. It's about winning the hearts and minds of the people, and you can't do that by committing atrocities. Sorry. Once you start doing extreme stuff, people don't pay attention to you, and they just write you off as, oh, you are a bad person. Okay. So everybody that agrees with you is obviously a bad person too. It's very easy to box people up, put people into boxes like that. So if they had them fighting the Rebel Alliance in this, it wouldn't have worked the way it did. Which leads me to think about what... I wonder how, like, Mitch Dyer, I think, is one of the writers on Battlefront 2, the story mode for it. And then, you know, there are other writers and stuff. I'm wondering how they're going to handle that. How are they going to make a sympathetic Imperial that isn't fighting extremists when they're fighting the Rebel Alliance? I mean, they're just fighting the rebels. Maybe... I don't know how they're going to handle that. Only the way that I could think of is to show how the Rebel Alliance is now an actual military force and is now doing terrible things to planets, like, maybe not as bad as, you know, orbital bombardment, but they're doing things that can be construed as evil, or maybe just, from the Rebel point of view, a means to an end. On planets like Vardos and stuff like that. I don't know how they're going to handle that. They're going to have to figure out something, because not everybody's going to read this book and already have a bit of a rapport with Inferno Squad. Which, by the way, real quick, I know this is stupid and it's completely off topic, but why does a three-person Black Ops squad need a 150-meter ship? That's pretty crazy. Like, you only need, like, a Millennium Falcon-sized ship with, like, a crew of, like, 6 people. You don't need, like, a miniature Star Destroyer in the Corvus. Which, again, is a stupid non-complaint. It's just a fanboy twitch of, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Whatever. I also really wish we would have gotten some more of the Corvus. But I'm rambling because I freaking love this book. Oh my god. But anyways, I think I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going way off base. I have no idea where I'm going. All I know is I love this book. I can't freaking wait for Battlefront 2 to play that story mode over on Twitch. And, it's going to be so good. Star Wars! Okay, sorry. I had a Star Wars. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know what you thought about this book down in the comments down below. I'd love having conversations with you guys down there. Also, if you enjoyed this video, hit a like on this video for me. It lets me know that I'm doing stuff the right way. Also, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. It, again, lets me know that I am entertaining you guys, which is exactly what this channel is meant for. Thank you guys as always, and may the Force be with you.